Start by asking all of you to identify the diversity of technology presently around you. Computers attached to global networks, portable smartphones, visual projectors, and even how comfortable you are with the current temperature of this room. These are just a few examples of technological advances, but they are all products derived from areas of science such as electromagnetism, quantum mechanics, and thermodynamics. As marvelous as these advances may be, there is still so much we don't know and still so much to learn. Today, the leading candidate for scientific discovery is the Large Hadron Collider, commonly known as a particle accelerator and even more commonly known as an atom smasher, in Geneva, Switzerland. As a student aspiring to eventually work for the European Organization for Nuclear Research, also known as CERN, I am grateful for this opportunity to inform all of you on a few important topics. How and why particle accelerations take place, how the Large Hadron Collider operates, and the scientific discoveries involved. Lisa Randall, a theoretical physicist who works for CERN, explains very elegantly in her book, Knocking on Heaven's Door, published in 2011, exactly how and why it is important to delve into the world of extremely small distances. To summarize her words, atoms are the building blocks of all matter in our universe, and the neutrons and protons in the center of the atom account for nearly all of the atom's mass, or weight. Because all matter that we observe in our universe, including ourselves, is composed of atoms, the proton is the particle of choice to investigate. And one does not simply strip away an atom into its subparticles with ease. We have to achieve extremely high levels of energy with particle acceleration. There are multiple stages that take place before an actual collision. The initial acceleration process of these particles occurs with a radio signal, and the frequency of the signal is 400 megahertz, which is the same frequency we use to remotely unlock our car doors. So the particles are sent on their journey from this signal through a linear tunnel. Then they approach the first circular booster at 157 meters long, then into another circular booster at 628 meters long. Then the particles reach yet another circular booster reaching 7 kilometers long, until they reach 99% the speed of light, and finally the particles enter the Large Hadron Collider at 27 kilometers long. Engineering how the Large Hadron Collider would actually perform was no walk in the park. Physicist Lisa Randall again states that it is not merely large. The LHC is the biggest machine ever built. It is not merely cold. The negative 456 degrees Fahrenheit temperature necessary for the LHC superconducting magnets to operate is the coldest extended region that we know of in the universe, even colder than outer space. The magnetic field is not merely big. The superconducting dipole magnets generating a magnetic field more than 100,000 times stronger than the Earth's are the strongest magnets in industrial production ever made. So as you all probably know, nothing is free, and few things rarely come cheap. And the Large Hadron Collider is no exception. Along with being the largest, the LHC is the most expensive machine ever built. The extension of funds is extraordinary. To support the LHC's $9 billion price tag, CERN had to receive help from 23 different countries, along with contributing 20% of the funds themselves. In his article, Big Science of the Large Hadron Collider, published in 2012, Italian theoretical physicist Juan Francesco Guidice states that the legacy of our society will be found in the revolutionary scientific discoveries that were and are being made, and in the swift technological process that was and is being achieved through them, which have dramatically changed not only how we live, but especially the way how we think and comprehend the universe. The LHC exhibits all of such characteristics that promise it will be remembered. Now that you have an understanding of what the Large Hadron Collider is and how it works, we come to the ultimate question: why? With how expensive this experiment was, there's been much speculation over if it was really worth it. But if science has taught us anything in the past, the investment is well worth the knowledge. The Large Hadron Collider has the amazing ability to approach energies so high that it mimics energies during the time of the Big Bang, which is ultimately where we are forced to look in order for physics to attempt to draw conclusions about why or how the world came to be. I would like everybody to picture for a moment an ant crawling around a tightrope. The ant may have a sense of crawling forward and back, left and right, but up and down is nearly impossible to conceive. For a man walking across the tightrope, his perception of the world is very different from the ant's. This common illustration is used in order to imagine extra dimensions of space. This is actually a topic of experimentation with the Large Hadron Collider. When particles collide at high energies, physicists try to develop theories that predict the outcome of these collisions. It is not uncommon that certain particles actually turn into or decay into different particles upon impact. Portions of energy may very well completely disappear from observation. This could be direct evidence of extra-dimensional space. One theory the Large Hadron Collider hopes to justify. A few of you might have heard about the God particle discovery on the 4th of July this year. Even though the nickname is greatly misleading, God particle, it is a very important milestone for the Large Hadron Collider. The correct term is the Higgs boson particle. An easy way to picture how the Higgs boson particle relates is to think of a public swimming pool. In much the same way that the water would regulate different people's masses, the Higgs boson particle field is what regulates the masses of subatomic particles. In freelance science writer Jim Baggett's book, Higgs, published almost immediately after the discovery this year, he states that without the Higgs field interactions, matter would be as ephemeral and insubstantial as light itself, and nothing would be. Now that we have gone over how and why particle collisions take place, how the Large Hadron Collider operates, and the discoveries involved, I hope you all have a deeper appreciation for what it takes to reveal the mysteries of our world with modern science today. The Large Hadron Collider is comparable to the beauty of the ancient pyramids, but it is only a tool that is required for uncovering the beauty of the universe we live in.